All right, Golf DMV, we are back at PXG Fairfax, the home of Lawrence Custom Fitting. And Lawrence has those PXG, the latest ones, right?
The 6.
Gen
right
6. There in the trunk of the car. And we've got Mr. Parsons here, Bob Parsons, CEO of PXG. Amazing Life. Again, the name of the new book is Fire in the Hole. Number one, thank you so much for joining us on Golf DMV.
First of all, thrilled to.
Thank you. I can feel the thrill coming from you, emanating from the seat that you're sitting in. So let's talk with the book. You know, you talk about East Baltimore. Number one, thank you for your service to the country in Vietnam. Then the tech stuff, and then PXG, and all these things. An incredible story. As you're living life, does it feel like an incredible story, or as you're writing the book, you look back like, I did a lot of stuff here.
You know, once in a while I'd have something happen and I'd say, man, this is incredible. But not often. Mm-hmm. Not often. Most of it was hard work.
Sure.
And just following my hunch and making sure I was covered. And I mean, Vietnam was one thing.
Right.
Business world is a whole nother thing. And I've been asked the question, you think the American dream is still alive? Yeah, it has been, But the problem is most people don't see it because it looks like hard work.
Right, like, well, that can't be the American dream. It looks like it's too hard to get to.
Right. So one question I had, when you were in the Marines, what did you do in the Marines, and what qualities or things that you learned in the Marines that helped you transition into the business world?
Well, I was trained as a rifleman.
Okay.
And it was 0311, which is the Marine Corps code for that job, the military code. And I have friends who are snipers who are 0317s that refer to me as an 03 dum-dum. So we were the guys always right in the bush, right in the front,
sure.
Doing that job.
Yeah, so many find it hard to make that transition from military service back to civilian life and business. Talk about that for you. How was that transition?
Well, it was, had its challenges. One of the things that I had that made it differently, I was only in for 2 years. I mean, not even. Right. And, when I came back, I, had a little bit of time to kind of get adjusted. I mean, couple weeks. And then I got a job in a steel mill and shoveled steel for about a year. Had a lot of time to think while you're doing that. And then I decided I didn't want to work in a steel mill anymore. I went to college.
There you go.
At the University of Baltimore, and I studied accounting.
So then where did tech come in? Were you always technically like with tech and stuff like that? Was that always kind of a thing with you?
Well, back then there wasn't even
tech wasn't invented.
There was no there was no tech. I mean, there was hardly any computers. I mean, there was these huge mainframes that didn't have as much, memory in it as a cigarette lighter.
The microvac system, I remember those. I worked on those too.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I did was because before I went into the military, I was a terrible student. I mean, I was absolutely terrible. Every year was a photo finish, whether I'd move on to the next year or not. I failed the 5th grade. Nobody can ever take that away from me.
No, they can't.
And when I was a senior in high school, I was failing a number of subjects. I didn't think I was going to graduate. And I had 2 buddies come and talk to me and say, hey, Bob, we're going to go talk to the Marine Corps recruiter. And why don't you join us? So I did. All 3 of us enlisted in the Marine Corps. That guy had us at hello.
Right.
We walked in and he goes, how you men doing today? And, that line, well, if you want, I'll see if I can get you in.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going, oh, would you?
Yeah. And the rest was history, as they say in the book. Again, Fire in the Hole. So let's talk a little bit about golf now. I mean, PXG. What was, golf can be a crowded space, especially when it comes to equipment and things like that. What was the thought of, okay, we're going to launch this company, PXG, and what was behind that thought?
Well, I was of the belief, and I'm of the belief now, that anytime a company releases a new club, new instrument, it should be noticeably better than what they've tried to sell you before.
That's right, yeah.
So you're not just paying for aesthetics.
Right.
So that's what the idea behind PXG is, that we're gonna take as much time as we need to. We're going to spend whatever we need to, and we're going to. Only constraint is we got to make top shelf stuff that outperforms everything else that we've made, and most of the stuff, if not all of the stuff, on the market.
Yeah, and I love how big the advertising and marketing, like kaboom, baby. Is that your personality? Is that behind that big kind of PXG push?
Kaboom, baby.
That's it. See, that's it.
I'm the guy.
I love it. Well, one thing I love too about about PXG, and I'll wrap up with just these last two questions, is the investment that PXG has been putting as far as apparel in the women's game. They make like the best women's like golf clothes, period. And you can tell the attention to detail and the quality, of it as well, and the investment in social media influencers and things like that.
Now, my wife Renee, she manages the apparel division. She created it from scratch.
She's good.
And so right now she is in the green room eating a sandwich, but she would have passed out with joy if she heard you make that statement, because that's what she tells me she does all the time.
And one final thing, speaking of your wife Renee, you guys also have a huge focus on philanthropy.
We do,
and giving back. Talk a little bit about your heart regarding giving to those who need help.
Well, what we do, it amounts to we move $1 million every other week to charity, and most of that goes to causes that are underfunded. Mainstream philanthropy, just they're not fancy enough, or they're just stuff like the inner city.
Sure.
One of our programs is with the University of Baltimore to try to get 1,000 kids to go through school and to finish their third and fourth year, and we do Pell Grants. They get a Pell Grant, and we supplement that so they can go.
Oh, nice.
And so we're working that. We do a lot of work in Arizona with people that are there. You can, depending upon how you think, they're either undocumented or they're illegal, but in any case, they're people that have risked their life to be here. And to me, it always seems like, isn't that who you want here? Right, as opposed to somebody who fell out of a vagina in Cleveland. Right.
Yes, I like this guy. That's how it happens. I mean, you're right. All right, so before we let you go, because you got a busy night tonight, before we're going to wrap up here with Golf TV, can we just get one more kaboom, baby?
Kaboom, baby.
Mr. Parsons, thank you so much for your time.
I'll tell you what a joy. I wish I talked to you guys all day.
There you go.